live. All right, welcome everybody. We are back for episode number 15 of The Loose Lug Nuts. I am joined as always by Aaron Simmons, aka Simoleons, and Zachary Brandevold. How are you gentlemen doing tonight? Let's start with you, Zach.
I am doing pretty good. In my starting my second week this Monday and finally getting more responsibility and doing more stuff. So I'm pretty excited and just counting down the days that I'm out of school. To be honest with you, at this point.
All right, awesome. Simoleons, how are you this evening?
Doing quite well. Doing quite well. Trying to set up some interviews for my thesis paper that's due coming out due very soon. And just trying to get all that squared away and trying to get that written up. And today even got a surprise visit from an old friend I haven't talked to in a while, and really kind of connected and really talked for a little bit, kind of reminisced on good times. So overall today was a real good day.
Awesome. Sounds like everybody's having a good day. Today has not been a great day for me, but better days are ahead because Saturday is opening day of archery season, and I plan to be 20 feet up in a tree and hopefully have a big buck right below me with a big bullseye tattooed on him. I don't
Heck
know
yeah!
about the bullseye part, but we can always hope for the best. But it's Bristol, baby. We had an elimination race in the playoffs. We had the regular season championship decided in Xfinity. We had excitement in all three series. It was pretty amazing, I got to be honest. But let's start with the truck race. And actually, I am up talking about the truck race. So let's get into the truck race. And I'm going to talk to you about the truck race. And I'm going to talk to you about five drivers. I got to count. That's all the fire there. I can count five. So that's why we're talking about five drivers. This is a story of five drivers in the truck race. Let's talk about Matt Crafton. Matt Crafton is the definition of a professional race car driver. Everybody else comes in here scrambling to try to stay in the top eight at the end of the race, making crazy moves, driving crazy, driving with desperation. Crafton comes in here 30-plus point cushion. He has scored stage points in every single stage in every first round race of the playoffs. He put himself in a good position. He didn't have a great handling truck, but he still managed to score stage points in both stages. He is a professional race car driver. If you're one of the young guys in the truck series or you're wanting to know how a professional just takes care of business, look at Matt Crafton, professional race car driver. Number two, Austin Hill, how quickly things can change. 4 races ago, he was the hottest driver in the truck series. He closed out the regular season with 2 consecutive wins at Watkins Glen and at Knoxville. He was becoming the odds-on favorite to become the series champion. He's out. Didn't perform well in the first round of the playoffs, got caught up in an accident, and he's out. That's how quickly things can change. 4 races ago, he was the hottest driver. Today, he's not even a part of the playoff picture. That is how quickly things can change in the truck series. Number 3, Carson Hocevar. I'm not going to give him a standing ovation, but I'll give him a golf clap, okay? He was out. He was 10 points out of the playoffs. Crew chief throws a Hail Mary, leaves him out on old tires, says, driver, I'm putting it on you. I gave you track position. You stay up there and hang on to us and get us to the next round of the playoffs. Hocevar did everything he needed to do with that track position. He restarted second a couple times. He hangs on for a 6th place finish. Carson Hocevar, golf clap to you. Didn't make any crazy moves, kept the truck out of trouble, maintained the track position. He's in your round of 8. Number 4, Sheldon Creed. Oh, your heart's got to break a little bit for Sheldon Creed. Dominance. That is the only word for Sheldon Creed. Dominance. He won the first stage, won the second stage. At one point, he had stretched out to a 4-second lead on a 25-lap green flag run. Had the dominant truck all night, but it's Bristol, baby, and it ain't over till the fat lady sings, as they say, which brings me to driver 5, Chandler Smith. Chandler Smith did everything he needed to do to win the race. first thing you need to know to tell you to keep your eye on Chandler Smith, radio from him at the end of stage 1. I think it's the end of stage 1 from his crew chief. How's the balance on the truck? Chandler Smith. Truck's perfect. I'm just being roadblocked. That tells you he had a fast truck. He methodically worked his way up through there. He was patient when he needed to be, aggressive when he had to be, had a great restart, was able to make the bottom line work, made a little contact with Sheldon Creed, which we've learned that's pretty common at Bristol. Wound up cutting down a tire for Sheldon Creed and Chandler Smith with his first career win. So congratulations to him. But to me, Bristol was the story of those 5 drivers. So that's Bristol from the truck race summed up. Those 5 drivers were your big story. So anybody got anything to add before we move on to the Xfinity race?
No, I was shocked that Austin Hill didn't make it through. I really thought that he would, but
yeah,
hopefully he has a better year next year.
Yeah, just really unfortunate for Austin Hill. It seems like he was one of the favorites to kind of challenge Sheldon Creed for the truck championship, but bad luck at Bristol cost him.
Yep.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, it was. He wasn't upset about it. He kind of took responsibility for it, but luck or error or fate, what have you, he's out, unfortunately. So, all right, Simoleons. Do you really have anything to say about the Xfinity race? It was just kind of a boring race. Not a lot happened, did it?
Yeah, kind of blasé, kind of just, single file racing, nothing really too extravagant, but hopefully, but good luck for you guys. That didn't happen. It seemed like, at least for the truck racing Xfinity race, the old Bristol came back, especially with the addition of the PJ1. It made that inside groove basically the dominant groove. Basically just eliminating the entire outside groove dominance that we've seen on Bristol for the last few years. PJ1 fixed that, and so now everybody was trying to hug that bottom as much as they can. Early on, it looked like Justin Allgaier and Daniel Hemrick were the class of the field. Allgaier pretty much, beating and banging his way all the way to the front and letting nobody stop him. You cannot stop that 7 car, but he would take stage 1. But unfortunately for stage 2 and stage 3, the hero of last week, Tommy Lee Martin, he would have that luck would kind of run out this week as he got involved in about 2 incidents, got spun out, and he crashed unfortunately in stage 3, kind of ruining his night. But back in stage 2, I sent a video to Tom over here about possibly one of the greatest saves probably of the year. And so Tom's going to cue that video up.
Tries to get in this little spot right here. Going to thread the needle on the inside of double zero. Joe Graff Jr. Joe's going to hang on his quarter panel here down the straightaway, and contact is made. Oh, my goodness.
I don't know how you save that car.
I don't either.
Get clipped in the right rear.
So right here from
just not clear.
The start finish.
He was clear and he.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. So from especially pretty much from the start finish line to around the turn 1, turn 2 area, that car was sideways, and everybody in there thought that his car was going to be gone.
I don't know how you save that car.
I don't either.
Get clipped in the right rear.
Just not clear.
No, he thought he was clear and he wasn't.
That thing was,
at its finest right
it may
there
not have been 90 degrees on the track, but that thing was 85 degrees. I mean, he was absolutely sideways. That I will give a standing ovation to.
Absolutely. I mean, God, man, that was a hell of a save. I'm putting that down for probably save of the year. Because you can't do that in Bristol. You just can't do that.
You can't do that anywhere.
No. I mean, no, and that's why they get paid the big bucks. That's why. But then stage 3. This is where it gets down to business because after this race, the Xfinity playoffs start, and then that's when the intensity really ramps up. there we saw, Austin Cindric, really kind of show his hand because he's been really quiet, stage 1, stage 2. Stage 3, he gets up and runs just, it looked like he was going to run away with it. But some late cautions came out. And then we had that incredible finish. Yeah, exactly. Just on top. That dude can drive a race car. That dude can drive a race car, absolutely. But then, if you haven't seen already, you will see it later on in the podcast. But to me, that finish said, Bristol is back. Bristol, the old classic Bristol, is back, and I cannot be any happier. But then, of course, AJ Allmendinger wins it. But here's the thing I want to point out. I was looking at this today. Here you have, Justin Allgaier with 92 laps led. Daniel Hemrick with 78. Cindric was 75. The A car, which I'm name is blanking out right now, 49 laps. But AJ Allmendinger, the eventual winner of the race, led 1 lap. 1 lap the entire night.
That's called
Sam
knowing
Mayer.
when the pay
Sam
window
Mayer.
opens.
Exactly. And no matter how many laps you lead in the race, the only lap that counts is the last one. But yeah, that was pretty much the Xfinity race. Pretty much just an appetizer of what is to come. And so we'll go to Zach for the Cup race review.
Yeah, and we're going to come back to that Xfinity finish in a few minutes. But yeah,
Yes, we
Zach,
will.
tell us about the Cup race.
Yeah, it was definitely a very interesting race. Came in, it was pretty quiet from the start. Not a lot of issues. And then as the night ran on, we saw some more desperation with several of the playoff drivers, such as Denny Hamlin and Kyle Larson clash. And most notably, Kevin Harvick and Chase Elliott. There were some cautions for some back markers who spun to help close the field together. And restarts were definitely key, especially towards the end. And we definitely saw some pretty big desperation moves. But in the end, we saw Chase Elliott and Kevin Harvick trying to each lock themselves into the next round with a win. And lapped cars were definitely an issue. And trying to negotiate that traffic as on any short track is one of the hardest things. And that came to a head. And obviously we saw Chase Elliott get locked up in the top lane with a slower car, tried to force his way down. And ultimately, Harvick and Elliott got together, and that cut down a tire. We saw several tires, especially late in the run, get cut down. That really affected the race. But most importantly, I don't think any of them caused a caution that I can remember. There was one with Quinn Hoff that caused a caution, but I think after that it was caution free. But there was a big shakeup in the points as coming into the race, we had Brad Keselowski in ninth, 13 points away. Kyle Busch.
Uh-oh. I think we're losing Zach.
8 above that line.
He's on life support.
I'm back. Can you get me?
He's
you guys
coming
got
back. Okay.
Yep, so okay.
Okay.
Me? You guys got me?
We can hear you now.
Yeah, we got you.
Okay. I'm just going to restart. Brad Keselowski, 13 above. Kyle Busch, 8. Eric Almirola, 3 above. Kurt Busch tied with Alex Bowman on the elimination line. Reddick, 5 below. William Byron, 18 below. And Michael McDowell, 38. Safe to say, Michael McDowell needed a Hail Mary to try and get himself above the elimination line. No spoiler alert. He didn't.
Wait,
but
what?
then
he didn't make it?
no, he didn't.
McDowell's out.
He is. Love the guy.
There goes that $50.
Yeah, love that
Yeah.
guy, but you should not put your money on that. As he had he had an average finish of 31 at Bristol night races. So definitely not a good race to bet. But after the race was completed, the dust settled. We saw a block from Chase Elliott, angry that he got a tire cut down earlier, allowed Larson to take the win. So he advances along with Denny Hamlin, Martin Truex Jr., Ryan Blaney, Kevin Harvick, Joey Logano, Brad Keselowski, Chase Elliott, Alex Bowman, Christopher Bell, Kyle Busch, and William Byron scrapes in by the skin of his teeth, only 2 points above. The four that are out are Tyler Reddick, Eric Almirola, Kurt Busch, and Michael McDowell. I think one of the shock ones was Kurt Busch, as coming into Richmond, he had, I think he had like a...
No, he was tied coming in. He was tied with Bowman.
No, I meant before Richmond, like at the beginning of the playoffs. He had a really good Darlington race, and I think, right? Or am I mistaken?
I think he did decent at Darlington. Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Anyway, he was. Other people had heartbreak at Darlington or something along those lines, and he was actually pretty high up. And it all ran away from him in Richmond, and then again at Bristol, just did not have the speed to keep up, and ultimately finishes outside of the playoffs or the cut line, which ruins his playoff hopes, championship hopes. But that was the Cup race. Did I miss anything, or do you guys have anything to add?
We're going to cover more on Cup races in other segments, so I think we will be revisiting some of the highlights there. Okay.
Sounds good.
All right, take us into the news, Zach.
Yeah. So, Tom, I know that you wanted to show first thing up. I know you wanted to show a video, so cue it up for us, please.
All right, so I think that this video, this is the Finish the Xfinity race, and if you missed it, you're going to love this, but I am saying this is an instant classic. This ranks up there, maybe not as good as the 2003 Darlington finish with Kurt Busch and I am Ricky Craven.
Yeah, Craven.
But it's close. It's close. This, I'm saying, goes into the category of instant classic. So check it out if you haven't seen
behind them in row 3. We are in overtime, presented by Credit One Bank.
Now, keep in mind, your two guys up front, Austin Cindric and A.J. Allmendinger, this is final race of the regular season. This is for the regular season championship. They are basically tied.
It's Cindric and Allmendinger into 3 and 4. Allmendinger up the racetrack. They make contact. 3 wide for the lead. 1 lap to go. Here comes Allgaier on the inside.
I'm so surprised he didn't cut down a tire right there.
Allmendinger back in on the inside. He takes the lead. More contact behind him. The race for the win through 3 and 4. Allmendinger, Cindric, side by side. Allmendinger wins it at the line.
Hard crashing off into turn 1.
Riley Herbst, Brandon Jones behind them in row 3.
All right, I think I could watch that over and over and over, but I think that is an instant classic.
Oh, yes.
Let's talk about the significance of this and what they had on the line. They are basically tied going in at that point with the points and where they were in the race and stage points. So whoever gets that win wins the regular season championship. So think about this. That is a 20-point swing right there. You get 5 points for winning a race. You get 15 points for being the regular season championship. That was a 20-point bonus to whoever came out on top in that deal and wins that race. So as far as not just a great finish, but what was on the line and the significance of it, huge.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. But
yeah,
I mean, really between the Xfinity Series race finish and then the Cup Series finish, I think to me that says, I said it earlier in the podcast, but that is classic Bristol. I mean, that is what Bristol is basically built off of. Just close racing, beating and banging. I'm going to make it to the line before you do type racing. And over the last few years, we just really haven't seen it too often, ever since they tried to repave or regroove the track. But I think now they finally kind of brought some of that magic back, and I enjoyed every minute of it.
And I've been critical of some of the things NASCAR's done, especially from an officiating standpoint. But I got to give it to them. They brought Bristol back. It lived up to the great history of that track. They listened to the fans. They created the excitement by scheduling it as an elimination race. I got to really say, I think NASCAR did a great job on this one.
Yeah, they need to keep it that way. They need to keep it an elimination race. I think.
And this whole with Chase Elliott and Kevin Harvick, it needs a name, okay? If we can come up with a name for it, it will get up there with Rattle His Cage, okay? But it needs a name. Nobody's came up with a good name yet. But he does. If we come up with a name for it, it will be right up there, maybe just a notch below Rattle His Cage as far as great finishes.
Fast food fight?
Maybe.
I mean, Subway and Hooters going after each other?
Subs versus wings.
Subs versus wings. There you
go. Yeah. But how about poor Austin Cindric? Austin Cindric gets used up twice on that final restart. Allmendinger absolutely uses him up to start it off, and it doesn't work. He gets shuffled back to third. So you think Austin Cindric's going to be like, hey, he tried to use me up. It didn't work. I got this thing now. And here comes Justin Allgaier to use him up again and open the door for Allmendinger. Poor Austin Cindric.
I mean, technically, he got used up across the line too.
I think he was doing the using going across the line
because Allmendinger went down to try and beat and bang with him. I don't know. Anyway, it was a great race. I enjoyed watching it. I definitely, that clip is definitely one of the best clips that I think NASCAR should market that on everything, put it on posters, put it in commercials, just blast that, because that is exactly what we as NASCAR fans wanted to see. And, I feel like once they get the PJ1 corrected, whether or not the resin or whatever, that it's just going to be even better. And I love Bristol. I've said this before. I love Bristol. It's my favorite track, at least to watch. I just love that finish. Especially it kind of feels like a vintage AJ Allmendinger win for sure.
Yeah, he's had a few. He's already starting to put together some signature moments, and that was one of them. On the other side of things, let's talk about our viewers for a minute. Folks, don't do drugs, okay? When you do drugs, you make comments like this. And just to prove this is not a fluke, here we are. Here's another one from Sav. Folks, don't do drugs. This is what happens when you do drugs.
Play the next one, or look at the next one.
After McDowell should have made it.
Yeah. Not going to lie, he would have made it if he didn't wreck in the first two races.
Sure. I mean,
okay.
Given if everybody else would have had problems and McDowell would stay clean, he would have had a realistic shot at it.
One word: rehab.
Yeah, no, not going to happen. His average his average running position anyway was like 20th.
I mean,
at best.
I mean, I'm saying he would have had a shot at it. I wasn't saying he was guaranteed a spot in. I'm saying he would have been in a little better position than that.
They're not average.
Zach, bring us back to the real world with the next news story.
Let's get back to it. All right, Roush Fenway lands a new sponsor. This is humongous news for a company that I don't think anybody's ever heard of, Violet Defense. They're a sanitizing company that uses patented ultraviolet light to sanitize things. They enter a multi-year partnership. So chances are we'll probably see Brad Keselowski running this scheme at some point, but it's not a very particularly great scheme. But I guess it gets money in the door. They signed it in through 2023. What do you guys think about that, Aaron?
I mean, this certainly is a win for Roush Fenway. I mean, especially with the era of sponsors coming in for maybe like a few race deals, maybe a third of the season deals. But no, like this is a primary like good sponsorship for a multi-year sponsorship for an organization that is having basically an entire reset of personnel and drivers, all that kind of stuff. So this is a good win for them. But Zach, I'm kind of going the other direction. I think it's not a bad looking scheme.
I don't like the company logo. It could have been a lot better.
Yeah, well, so can everything, but still, I mean, it's not a terrible scheme. I mean, it's not the new Exalted paint scheme. I mean,
I guess they did the best with what they could what they had.
Yeah, I mean, I like it. It's sleek. Tom, what do you think?
Once again, I'm going to say new sponsors into the sport is great. Roush Fenway was probably looking for sponsors. I think they said they're going to do 4 races this year and then do several races next year with Keselowski. So I think it's great to get new sponsors. I think it's a much needed shot in the arm. I don't know what the financial terms are, but I'm sure it doesn't come cheap. So I'm sure that's good for Roush Fenway Racing. So I'm all for it. I think it's a positive move for everybody around. And this is what NASCAR is supposed to do. I have never heard of Violet Defense, but now I have. I went and looked up what they did. Now I know that's what NASCAR is supposed to do. You know, that's what the idea of sponsoring a sporting team or event does. So, yeah, I hope it works out well for everybody, and I hope Violet Defense sees a huge uptick in business from it. So I'm all for it.
I agree. I hope they do as well. Excuse me. Okay, so the round of 12 is set. Who are the biggest surprises and who made it that you guys didn't think would? And I can already answer this for you. Both of you shot down my comment of William Byron making it.
Where's the mute button?
After 18 points, and I'm holding that. I'm holding that.
Where's the kick button? Where's the kick button on this thing? Where is it?
Yeah, exactly. So I will start off with that. But what do you guys think, Tom?
I think the biggest surprise getting in was William Byron, and he earned it. He deserved it. He drove his heart out, got everything he could out of that car. Drove it smart, drove it hard all night. So he is the biggest surprise, but it was well earned. As far as who's out, Kurt Busch. He had 2 races where he needed to put together one good race between the 2 of them. Not even a great race, just a decent race. And between the flat tire at Richmond and the car just not being hooked up at Bristol, didn't get it done either race.
Yeah, I'm definitely agreeing. I think Kurt Busch is a bigger surprise here. Tyler Reddick, I'm a little surprised that he didn't make it. He got really hot toward the middle and towards the end of the year, but apparently Bristol was just not his style and missed it by just a few points. I'm probably say Christopher Bell just because of how close he was and not making it when he had his late race issue, I believe a flat tire. So I'm kind of surprised that he made it, but really that's really kind of it. And plus William Byron making it without a win. So did not see that happening, but hey, such as Bristol.
I'm going to go a little bit opposite. I am sticking to my guns. I knew that William Byron was going to make it. I should have bet money. But no, I think the biggest surprise was probably Alex Bowman. I know he was tied, but I really expected a bigger night out of Kurt Busch for sure, and really Tyler Reddick as well. I thought this track really suited their driving styles a lot better than what their results ended up showing. And William Byron making up 17 points. That's pretty amazing. Especially with all the people that cut down tires. I guess that made it a little bit easier for him, but Bristol's a contact filled track, and you really have to drive your ass off if you want to keep your car clean. And also Christopher Bell having I think that issue I think it was a tire. Was pretty surprising. It's pretty surprising, and I'm surprised that he was able to make it because he really didn't have a lot of points to go off of coming in either. So it'll be interesting to see. He's probably the weakest link out of the whole JGR crew right now, and it'll be interesting to see if he can pull it together for these next couple races or if he's going to get knocked out. But anyway, that's the news this week. Thank you guys for allowing me to share.
Okay. All right, so now we are up to who's hot and who's not. Aaron, let's let you go first with who's hot and who is not.
All right, so for my who's hot this week, I'm gonna say this for the third time, because I'm a broken record, and I'm gonna say Bristol Racing is hot. I mean, I'm still getting goosebumps over that Xfinity finish. I'm still getting like excited and really invested into the Kevin Harvick Chase Elliott fight. I mean, I'm just still pumped that at least for this year, Bristol's back, and I can't tell you how much I've missed this classic Bristol racing. I mean, just everyone is fighting for that bottom, and hell, even through the Cup race, we saw multi-groove racing at Bristol, which is something that I didn't think was going to be possible, but yet here we are, because 2021 is crazy. But yeah, I'm going to go with Bristol racing. This race, these 3 races has definitely lived up to the hype. But who's not? I'm going to go Cool Tempers. Who's not Cool Tempers? They're not hot this week. I mean, it seems like in every single division that raced at Bristol, you saw the truck race with drivers getting hot with each other. You saw, in the Xfinity race, you have Cindric basically coming out and saying, that's why that's why AJ drives. And I'm not surprised they did it to me, but hey, that's how he races, man. He just drives aggressively. And just drives just taking shots at each other. And then, of course, the coup de grace, Harvick versus Elliott, which we'll get to later. But yeah, tempers, they are usually never cool after Bristol. And so I'm going to go with that for my who's not and who's hot, who's not.
And I got to say, I had forgotten how great the old Bristol was and how exciting the races were until it came back. When it comes back,
Yes.
You're like, yeah, I remember what this is like now. So yeah, I agree. Bristol is definitely hot right now.
Tom,
Zach?
why do you think hindered it?
When they redid it and made it a top line racetrack.
Okay.
When they redid it a few years ago, that's when it changed. Yeah.
Yep.
Gotcha. I just wanted to hear what you thought was the issue.
Yeah.
But anyway, I guess you were going to go straight to me, so I'll just go into it. Who I think is hot is Harvick. He had a terrible temper. I've never seen Harvick that heated after getting out of the race car, I think, since I can remember, at least the last 5 years. And it was very interesting to see. That was, I really do think that was not Harvick's fault, and however you guys see it, I'm pretty sure we're probably going to go over it in the green flag, red flag, but we can discuss it a little bit more there. But definitely very, very heated, and I don't think that it's necessarily over between both of them. But I love seeing rivalries. I love seeing those playoff heated discussions and get your head out of your ass discussions that we see and the fights. But because I think they just give the fans more energy. I really do. I really think so. As far as who's not, I am definitely going to say Colleague Racing's bank account. After that Xfinity race, even though they won, Chris Rice said earlier on SiriusXM NASCAR that it cost them about $200,000 in equipment. So 2 cars with how hard I think both of them hit, you got to think potentially both engine issues as well, and replacement parts, if not a whole engine, gearbox, that kind of thing. Just not a good, not, even though they won, they definitely cost them a lot of money for it. And but on the flip side, they've both been adamant that they're trophy hunting, so they don't care whether or not the car comes home damaged or perfectly clean. They just want wins. So I definitely don't think that that's a good thing, $200,000 worth of damage, but in the end they did get a win, so who am I to judge? But that's my who's hot, who's not.
Who had it worse, Hendrick at Darlington or Colleague at Bristol? Who had it worse?
Oh, Hendrick. Hendrick. More expensive cars in the Cup Series and more of them. So, but he can afford it more too. So,
yeah.
Okay. All right, so for my who's hot and who's not, for who's hot, I'm saying the internet is hot. The social media is exploding with the Kevin Harvick, Chase Elliott debate, and as far as I can tell, I've lost count of how many are on one side versus the other. But there is a lot of them. There is a lot of passionate opinions, and I think it is great that we've got something that has got the fan base so engaged. As Kyle Petty keeps talking about on here, about sometimes he says, I'm not going to apologize for the passion. Man, there have been so many fights on social media with people posting something about Harvick or Elliott and then people disagreeing with it. And you know what? Like Kyle Petty would say, might apologize for language, not going to apologize for the passion. So, so I think it's great that we've had an event that is so big that now it's almost transcended the sport. Everybody's talking about it. Even if you didn't watch the race this weekend, you heard somebody talking about it and you wanted to go see the clip and see what happened, to see what was going on. So I think the fact that we've got that many people involved and that passionate about it, and that we're drawing people in who don't normally watch the sport, is great. As far as who's not, I'm going to say poor Austin Cindric. It was a green-white checkered. You only had 2 laps, and in 2 laps he got used up twice by different people.
That's what happens to Bristol.
Survives one, and then when the other one happens, the guy who got him the first time takes advantage of it and retakes the lead. So I'm saying poor Austin Cindric. He's not hot, couldn't catch a break, was on the wrong end of being used up twice in 2 laps. So that's my who's hot, who's not. That now brings us to green flag, red flag, and this is Simoleon segment. So take it away, Aaron.
All righty. So, gentlemen, green flag, red flag question of the night. The only reason to wear a helmet in a fight is because you're scared. Green flag or red flag? Zach will go with you first.
I'm going to say red flag. I think Harvick was pretty smart because you got these kids nowadays that just love to start swinging. And I think the old heads like Harvick and Junior and some of those, they're not one to swing first. They're pissed, but they want to talk to you about it first. And then if you start acting up, then they go in swinging. So I don't think it's necessarily because he was scared. I think it was just, he was pretty smart with it.
All right, Tom, what say you?
I am answering this way.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I had a football coach when I was growing up who said something that applies just like this. He said, when a fight breaks out on the football field, you can always tell who the freshmen are. They're the ones that take their helmets off. This is what I am seeing here. Harvick is not stupid. I don't care who you're fighting. Let me wear a helmet. You don't wear one. I'll take my chances. You can bust your knuckles on my helmet all night long, and I will have a nice open shot at your face. So I think it was a brilliant move by Harvick. So I am saying that is, with age comes wisdom. That is how I describe that. Red flag all the way.
Yep, I'm going to have to agree with the guys. I mean, of course, certainly what Tom said, with age comes wisdom, and I don't think there's anybody in the garage area that started more fights and has finished more fights and started more fights than Kevin Harvick. I mean, he must have gone taken up with at least everybody on the track at least once in his career. You name a driver, Kevin Harvick has probably had beef with him at some point in his career. And so Kevin Harvick, he knows how to play these things. He's seen, he's also being scared during the Keselowski-Gordon fight, and then we all know how that turned out. And so Harvick, he has a helmet on just in case he was on the reverse end of that. And so I'm going to go red flag. He wasn't being scared. He's being smart.
Yeah.
What do you say, Zach?
Well, I just don't. I already said red flag, but
I'm sorry. Yeah.
I wanted to add that I don't think I don't think it was necessarily intentional that he left it on. I think it was more of he was so pissed he wanted to go see what the heck was going on too. I think it had some aspect of it that he was being smart, but also he was absolutely livid. And I would be too. He had tunnel vision, I think, and just wanted to go right up to him and say, like, "What the hell are you doing?"
Yeah,
anyway.
Yeah, I would be too. I mean, I'm going for my first win of the season. My season has gone to complete crap from last year. I have a car that can win the race. All of a sudden, I get shoved out of the way, but by a guy who made a desperate move for 3 wide, and it goes on tire and then pinned me back. So yeah, I'd be a little pissed too.
Arguably, I want to say this is the Harvick's best race since last year.
Oh, I think it absolutely was his best race.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
He was actively in it, and I think we hadn't seen that in so long. So obviously, I think he wanted to get a win.
Okay. All right, let's go to question 2. Simoleons, keep us moving.
All right, question number 2 of the night. Kaulig Racing is the most improved team in NASCAR compared to last season. Green flag or red flag? Tom, we'll go with you first.
I'm saying green flag on this one. It wasn't that long ago that we were really kind of hearing the name Kaulig Racing as being a player at restrictor plate tracks. And it was like, wow, these guys have got some power and have got the aero figured out, and they're a force at restrictor plate tracks. And that was the beginning. And that was not that long ago. That was last year. Then it became road courses and restrictor plates, and now they are pretty much a threat almost everywhere they go. So yeah, I know it's not the Cup Series, it's a step down. I know there's been other teams that have showed improvement, but I got to say that yeah, I think they are the most improved team across the top 3 series. Green flag. Zach, what about you?
I know you guys are going to call me crazy, but how the best team right now and the guy who won the championship and Hendrick last season, I'm calling them the most improved team. I think getting Larson and having that knowledge, as well as furthering their engine development program, I mean it shows on the racetrack every single week that they really improved leaps and bounds, not just from last year, but also, the year before. We got to remember that, you had 18th place Jimmy Johnson riding around, who had highlights at maybe a couple tracks, but mostly wasn't great, as well as, Byron and Bowman weren't really doing great as well, maybe winning one race. So, no, I'm going to say red flag. Although I do have to applaud what Kaulig has been doing. They were relatively, I don't want to say a no-name, but not a consistent contender. And they built themselves into a powerhouse for sure, right up there with junior racing.
But Zach, Hendrick won the championship last year.
Of course they did, but
we're talking about improvement.
They weren't consistently winning as much as they are this year. Most of that goes to Larson, though.
All right, Aaron, what do you say? Sav proving he is on drugs, maybe even worse than we thought. Simoleons, what do you say?
Somebody go check on our man.
I mean, honestly, Sav's already gone. He's just too far gone for help at this point. But yeah, I mean, this is a definite green flag for me. I mean, Kaulig Racing, in like 1 or 2 years, they've gone from super speedway. You kind of mentioned them, could have a shot, to now, if you don't mention Kaulig Racing every single week, you're stupid. I mean, they've made such a significant jump in such little time, to where how can you not call them the most improved race team in NASCAR right now? I mean, they're proving themselves to be up there with all the greats, and honestly, I'm very excited to see what they're going to do with Cup next season. But yeah, absolutely. I mean, if we're talking about like a race team, the Kaulig Racing, absolutely. But if we're going to go down to kind of just like an individual like race car driver in their solitary team, then I'll go Carl Larson. I mean,
he was out of racing, or out of NASCAR racing, at least most of last year. So,
well, right, but he's come on his redemption tour, winning a race. I think, all right. So now shut, NASCAR fans up, but now he's a top contender. Just haven't lost a beat.
What, he has twice the amount of wins that the next closest guy has right now? I think it's 3 wins.
Actually, I think it's Truex
at
4.
6.
Yeah. Larson has 6, and then the next guy up is going to be Truex with 4. So about double.
Okay, not double. That's right.
All right, let's get to the big one. The big one.
Alrighty. Sav may want to chime in on this one, even though you have already. All right, number 3. Who was at fault for the Chase Elliott Kevin Harvick track incident?
All right, now
Green
I've got
flag
the
for
video on this. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Simoleons.
Green flag for Harvick or red flag for Elliott? Tom, I believe you have some video evidence to show us.
All right. The defense presents exhibit number 1.
Changed those.
There he goes.
He got back to
Oh,
one
Chase
lap
is
down.
Chase is trying not to let this be a situation where he loses the lead. Harvick has an opportunity down here to roll this bottom, though.
Chase hard into the turn. Harvick, can he clear him? He's got a lap car in front of the 9.
Whoa.
They
Look
stay
at
tight
this.
up the racetrack.
Contact.
The 4 of Harvick got into the side of the 9. Here comes Larson. 34 laps to go.
That's aggressive racing. Larson.
All right. So there is the evidence. Tell me what you're leading this segment, Simoleons. Tell us what you think first, then you can throw it to us.
All right, so we'll start with Zach as I guess, a prosecutor in this case.
Yeah. I'm going to say green. I'm just kidding. Red flag for sure. Red flag. I definitely think Chase Elliott was at fault there. If you look at the clip, you can see that he kind of forced it down. Everybody knows that you're going to try and block use the other car as a pick. He kind of blocked it down, or tried to get down there and force it. He forced it 3 wide into the corner. Really was on the door panel of Harvick coming into the corner, trying to force him down so he could get into that middle lane. And that just left Harvick with nowhere to go. I mean, when you have somebody leaning on you and you're trying to not hit the apron, and also all that dirty air, you wash up the track. It's just plain as day. So I definitely think that Chase Elliott was his fault. I love Chase Elliott and I'm rooting for him, but definitely his fault for sure.
All right, Tom, how will you plead?
First, I want to clarify something. Okay, let's take a look at this clip real quick here.
Change those.
Okay,
There he goes.
He got back to
Oh,
one
Chase
lap
is
down.
Chase is trying not to let this be a situation where he loses the lead. Harvick.
okay. Now watch who
Has an
is
opportunity
coming
down here
into
to
the
roll this
picture
bottom, though.
here.
Chase hard into
Sav,
the turn.
please pay
Harvick, Can
attention.
he clear him? He's got a lap card.
Is that Rick Ware, most improved team? Is that who the 52 is? Is that who I am seeing in the middle of this incident? Just curious.
He's definitely fighting with the leaders. Not for
Yeah, definitely
Not
is.
for
not to lose
position.
another lap.
But hey,
So-
I mean, at
so,
least Rick Ware is on the track and not wrecked out yet. So hey, you know what? That is an improvement.
Yeah, don't jinx
No,
it.
here's the thing. Harvick had been rolling the bottom, okay, and Elliott had been running the top, and Elliott pinched him down. That's what you do at Bristol when you're on the top. You try to pinch the guy down, don't give him a chance to get in the gas coming off the corner. But look at this. Harvick is going to run him from the bottom clear to the top. Yeah, Elliott pinches him.
Whoa.
Okay, so he's pinched, but look, Harvick is going to run him from the bottom. If I can rewind it here. Oh, and we're
Car in
frozen.
front of the 9.
Whoa.
Look, they're at the bottom, and he's going to run him all the way up the top. Yes, Elliott pinched him, but I put this on Harvick.
Tight up the racetrack.
Contact.
He runs him all the way up to the wall. I mean, what are you supposed to do if you're Chase Elliott? You pinched him down. Maybe he moves you a little bit. Maybe he fights for position. He doesn't have to run you all the way into the wall. So, I'm going to say green flag here. This is on Harvick. He ran him all the way to the wall.
Oh man.
And there goes a viewer. But no, as for me, the best way to get out of a situation, guys, do you know what the best thing to do is when you're trying to get out of a situation?
What's
Don't
that?
put yourself in there.
Not get yourself in position to be in the situation in the first place. And so, no, that's completely on Elliott. he should. I mean, I understand it's towards the end of the race. I understand that Harvick is fast, but Chase Elliott has proven himself to have the better car, the faster car, and if he would just let Harvick go, he could have been there anyway. And so, no, that's a red flag. I'm going Elliott all the way because he put himself in that situation to cut a tire and to go like a lap down or so.
Honestly, there was no room in between. They made contact when they entered the corner, I think. There was no room. So I don't know if Harvick felt him on his inside and was trying not to get forced down there, or if he just sent it in because he wanted to stay up high as long as possible to use the pickup. But regardless, there was contact getting into the corner between both of them.
It's Bristol. There's contact getting into a lot of corners.
Yeah, but that's probably the contact that cut the tire down, at least. I mean, yeah, they had a
I'm
little
sure
bit of
running him all the way up to the wall had nothing to do with the tire going down.
They were also side by side.
I mean, if I'm Chase Elliott, I'm not blaming myself because I was the dummy that put myself in that situation to begin with.
Not only that, but you don't. His spot. I don't know where his spotter was, but obviously the Rick Ware racing car was not anywhere near as fast as him, and he should have put himself in a position not to have that issue in the first place. I mean, there was a little bit of space where he could have gone down to the bottom. He could have started out in the top and gone down to the bottom in turn 4 if his spotter had any awareness coming into the corner that there was going to be somebody there blocking him. But that's neither here nor there.
I would like to close by saying I would like to have some of whatever Sav is having.
Yeah, no.
Anyway, let's
move on to.
Anyway,
are we going to Vegas next week?
We are going to Sin City next week.
All right. So correct me if I'm wrong. This is going to be another high horsepower, low downforce package, correct?
I believe that's the opposite. I believe this is going to be a 550 horsepower. If I saw right.
That's why I was asking. I was not sure.
Let me take a look here.
All right. So what are you guys thinking about Vegas next week? I will start by saying I think this could be bad news for Kyle Busch. He's historically not good there. He's going in without a lot of a cushion. So I think Vegas could put him behind the 8 ball coming out of the first round of 8 race. So that's all I got to say about Vegas at this point.
Nice.
I think Penske rebounds. They were pretty good there. I've always been pretty good there. Brad Keselowski, that's always a good track for him. If he wants to show that he has any momentum, I think that he gets a win there. Kyle Busch did finish 3rd earlier this season. So I don't know. He didn't really have a lot of stage points, so maybe they worked on it as the day went on. I think we might get I obviously think it might be a little bit chaotic, but I think we might get a guy who wins who necessarily isn't in the playoffs. I don't know. I have an inkling. Yeah, hopefully I don't jinx it. But last year, no. Oh.
Last year, Matt D almost pulled it off.
I don't. No, that was. Oh yeah, last year. Mike DiBenedetto earlier this year was 16th. So Eric Jones was 10th. Eric Jones has a better chance. But all the Penske Fords were in the top 10 besides the obviously satellite team of Matt DiBenedetto, and all got really good stage points. So yes, like I said, look for them. I think they're going to do good, and obviously Hendrick is going to do good in my opinion as well as the Toyotas. So you got your usual suspects for sure.
Now,
the drugs are wearing off. Sav's coming up with intelligent thoughts now. Look at this. He's sobering up. Sorry, Simoleons, go ahead.
You just like it.
Yeah. But anyway, I mean, like we've seen all year, it seems like Hendrick does really well with the 550 horsepower high downforce package, which is what Vegas is going to be, according to Bob Parkhurst. And so I got a feeling that it's going to be, the Larson show. He's going to probably sweep at Vegas. Elliott, I feel like Elliott, I feel like it's gonna be right up in the mix. I feel like Hamlin's gonna be up there as well. Troy's maybe up there as well, but no, I'm saying it's gonna be 100 domination there in Vegas.
Keep in mind, earlier this season, Alex Bowman finished. I just lost it. He finished towards the back, I believe, back in 26th position. So he's a playoff driver to watch. He needs to have a good race. Hopefully he can. Who knows? I mean, he did have finishes of 6th, 13th, and 5th in 2019 to 2020. But most recently, he finished 27th. So something.
Actually, if I remember right, that was due to like a tire failure, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like JGR, Hendrick, and Penske are always up front. So, but I just have a feeling that a dark horse is going to win, like Mike said.
I'm thinking if it's a dark horse, maybe a Ross Chastain.
He's been really good the past couple weeks. Bristol, not so much, but
maybe.
Yeah.
Before that,
yeah.
Willie B, maybe.
Willie B, maybe, but he's not a dark horse.
No, he's not. But I'm just, I'm just shooting from the hip here.
Savs is Briscoe.
I don't know. You guys you guys have all the knowledge. Since last week, you told me that William Byron wasn't going to make the playoffs. You guys have all the knowledge. I think you guys should.
He's gonna ride that thing for as long as he can, isn't he, Simoleons?
Yeah,
he's not gonna let that one go.
But hey, we both can say that we predicted that Ross Chastain is going to Trackhouse earlier this year. We both predicted that,
and one of us didn't.
I know.
Yeah.
I think that was a big mistake. But,
mistake or not, we still called it.
I still love Chastain. Anyway.
All right. Closing thoughts. What's everybody got as closing thoughts?
Oh, man. Somebody else go first. I want to look for something a little bit more interesting.
All right, Tom. So let's go with you first.
All right. Here's the thing. You guys don't always agree with me, but my shirt says it all. It's a Willoughby thing. You just wouldn't understand.
There you go.
I am marching to the beat of my own drummer. It's a Willoughby thing. You wouldn't understand. So, with that, I will stick to my guns on everything I said, and I will always be right because I'll edit out the parts where I'm wrong. So, history will say that I was always right.
There you go.
That's my parting thought.
I'm going to go with happy first birthday to 2311 Racing. They started officially, I think either officially started or officially announced today, 1 year from today, that they were running. So happy birthday to them. Hopefully their season gets a little bit better. And I also want to say that I don't know if you guys can see this. Let me see if I can pull it up and put it in my webcam. Natty Light came out with a vodka. And instead of the Natty Light, Natter Days scheme that Priest runs, he's running a really, really cool Natty Light vodka scheme. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see this.
Natty Light vodka? Just from what I can see, it almost looks like a McDonald's scheme from
it's
when...
pink.
It looks like red and yellow, like... Ross Chastain, or not Ross Chastain, like Kyle Larson's McDonald's scheme when he was with Chip Ganassi.
Yeah, it's pink. It's the number is really cool. They're really either hit or miss at that team as to whether or not they get the scheme right. They're either way off or they're really good.
Whose paint job was that?
That's Ryan Priest. They got the Kroger scheme, so they do a lot of the Kroger connections. So this has to be one of them, I think.
Yeah. Look at more now. It's actually, I like it. It's really nice.
Yeah, like I said, they either hit and it's absolutely a banger, or it's completely terrible and needs to be thrown away. I don't know. Yeah, exactly. Some of those schemes were terrible. Anyway, I digress.
Yeah.
Okay, so hold on here.
Are you looking it up?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Thanks.
Oh,
Look
that's
at you.
Oh, yeah.
Natural Light Vodka.
I mean, look at that. That's a beautiful scheme.
Yeah, it actually
There
really
is a lot of-
very nice.
I'm not sold on Natural Light Vodka, but
I'm not
it is
either.
a good scheme.
I'm not either. But look at all that wasted space on the quarter panel, though.
Oh, I know. I mean, gosh, what a terrible
fender.
thing to do. In fact, we should move the number towards the back. All right, to
They
fill up
should
all
put
that
the number
space.
there. Nobody uses
Exactly.
it on that team
Exactly.
anyway.
I mean, don't use that space at all.
I really want you to pull up one of the Kroger schemes to show you how terrible those are.
Oh, please, no, yeah. I mean, like, just go back and
Please
watch
do it.
the Darlington race from earlier in the year, where it has all the throwbacks, and you will see just the empty space that stupid car has, and how ridiculous that argument is.
I don't know if I can find it while we're still in the air.
Just look up Ricky terrible paint schemes or something like that, or
I thought you said Ryan Priest, Kroger.
or Ryan Priest, doesn't matter. Kroger terrible paint schemes, something. I can see if I can find some.
All right. While we are looking,
Anyway.
Simoleons, what are your parting thoughts?
For my parting thoughts. I am going to say that, it is great to be back. It is great to see kind of Bristol back at it again. I know it's probably like the fourth time I said it, so take a shot every time I said it. But I was gonna say, this was an exciting end to the.
Thank God, you found it. Look at that! Look at that wasted space above the quarter panel. Oh, Hungry Jacqueline was fine. Where's?
Yeah, but yeah. Anyway, I was gonna say, this was a great kind of first round. Yeah, see, that one I actually kind of like that.
The
that
two
one's fine.
separate color schemes.
Oh, I don't like that at all. No.
It's not that bad. It's not as bad as some.
Yeah, it's not
Continue.
bad. But anyway, I was gonna say, it was a great end of the first round, and I hope round two will kind of deliver on that. But I was gonna say, around my part of the country, it's that time of September where it is Gator Hater Week.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Even though we will probably get smacked again for the fifth year in a row. Go Vols! Screw the Gators! Gator Hater Week, baby.
I'm gonna save my trash talk.
Speaking of ugly schemes.
Oh, come on! No.
What? That's not that ugly. Why do you say that?
Those were some of the ugliest cars.
Now, see, Tom, I think you're on drugs now.
I really do.
Sav, did you give Tom drugs again? I mean, come on, man. No.
Anyway, I'm gonna save my crap talking for the weekend.
You're not confident?
Well, no, I just don't want to. I'm sorry, I'm still looking up.
Okay, screw you, Tom. Screw you.
This one's a little bit better. But why do you have a hot dog going down the quarter panel? Look at that. And the logo is on the rear end. I wonder how much they charge for these things because you barely see anything. Anyway, I'm saving my trash talk for game day because I'm a respectful person. But I do want to say that my Florida Gators came very close to beating Alabama, the number one ranked team in the country. And that was a lot better than what I ever anticipated, especially after that first quarter when we were down 21-3. So I think it was 21-3, or maybe it was 21-0. I can't really remember. Anyway,
that is one of the few games where I was actually rooting for the refs to win.
Yeah.
I was rooting for the refs.
Well, we can't all appreciate greatness. So there does have to be some people that enjoy misery, and that is the Tennessee football program.
Ouch. That's cold. All right.
But
With that, I think we need to end the broadcast while we're all still friends.
I am just kidding. I root for SEC every day of the week unless the Florida's playing in them. So there you go.
See, same here. Same here.
There you go.
All right. Thanks to everybody for tuning in.
Yeah,
Looks like we're picking up few.
We'll go
Mike Hura is talking about Iowa. I love Iowa. I'm a big Iowa fan, mostly because their uniforms look a little bit like the WVU Mountaineers, but more they look like the Pittsburgh Steelers because that's my team. So I'm a big Iowa fan. Tom Freeman coming in late. Hey, Tom, it's on YouTube if you want to go back and rewatch the whole show.
Yeah.
So it'll be on the YouTube channel.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Go back and watch it.
So
yeah,
everybody for tuning in.
Didn't your West Virginia Mountaineers win?
Despite our best efforts to give the game away, we did win.
There you go. Upset.
Actually, no, we were favored by 6.5, even though they were ranked and we were not.
Oh, I didn't know that. But anyway, congratulations.
So we were favored by 6.5 and won by 6. So
there you
those
go.
odds makers know what they're doing.
They really do. They have a key to the future.
And after being up, I think 24-7 at one point, we did our damnedest to give the game away, but prevailed in spite of ourselves.
There you go. All right.
With that, we are out of here. Thank you guys for tuning in. We will catch you next week.
Absolutely. If I haven't died from over saltiness yet.